Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Kevin. Kevin is from Arizona in the USA. So let's see what Kevin has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hey.
Hello Kevin, how are you?
Good. I haven't done a Zoom in quite a while, actually. I'm doing lots of FaceTime, but very little Zoom stuff, so it took a moment.
So happy to see you.
I'm doing good. I was in Vegas this past weekend with the project, and I got back not terribly late last night, but don't get much sleep when I'm doing all those things. So
amazing. Amazing. So before we start the game, just tell me where you're from.
I'm actually from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Hawaii for a while. I went to school in San Diego, but I've always lived where it's warm. Arizona has mountains and snow, but I've always lived in the desert. So the desert or the beach has basically been my life. So I've not really ever lived around snow, so I'm not sure what that's like. Yeah.
And what's the name of the town you're living right now?
We're in a little town called Florence, Arizona.
Oh, okay. And tell me, what do you do for a living?
I am doing many things right now. Really, what I'm doing right now is my art. So that's helping me make the ends meet. So I've done lots of different things in my life, but my current job is called an aeronautics safety officer. So I basically am part of transporting international criminals.
Oh, very interesting. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm an agent. I'm an officer on the plane. We take they are people who have committed felonies in the United States, and they're being sent back to their native country for committing the crime.
Wow.
So instead of them doing their time here in the United States, we put them on a plane and we take them back all over the world. So I'll be flying into Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Brazil, Kenya, India, Germany. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. Oh, wow. And
so
I'm going to ask a little bit more questions regarding that, but I know you're an artist as well. Yeah?
Yeah, that's really what I've been doing for the past year, pretty much, it's been painting. So
tell me a little bit about your art. Tell me a little bit about your career as an artist.
Well, before I lived here, I lived in Oahu, on a little town named Kailua, on the island of Oahu in Hawaii, and that's on the windward side of the island, and it rains every day there, so it's beautiful waterfalls and that kind of stuff. So I had a trail guide business there. And when the pandemic happened, then all the tourists no longer came, so I basically lost my livelihood, right? So I went and we were in lockdown, so we were stuck inside the house, and I was bored. We couldn't go to the beach, and we couldn't go on the trails, and I didn't have money coming in, and I was tired of watching television and movies. I read all the books that I had in my house, so I decided I'm going to try to learn how to paint. So I have a friend and he's from Puerto Rico, and he is in Canada, and he's an artist, and so he taught me how to paint online, like you and I. So we'd be on Zoom, and then behind me I'd have my another phone. I had my computer in front of me and on my phone here, and we'd be on FaceTime and Zoom at the same time, so he could see what I was drawing, and he could tell me what to do to change. So I took lessons from him, and so that was about a year ago, a little over a year ago. So then So I discovered, and then I moved away because we couldn't afford it. So I moved back to my home state of Arizona, and last year this time, I put a Facebook post out, and it's like, I have some artwork, help me make rent. I have no money coming in. If you see something you want, let me know. And I posted all my drawings, and I sold a whole bunch of them really quickly. So,
wow.
And then I started taking commission work. So I spent the last year just this painting and painting. So some of the stuff's there, and all old stuff's behind me, and I get commission work all the time. So you can see this over here, a whole wall, that kind of stuff. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I've done and continue to do.
That's amazing, Kev. That's amazing. I thought when I was looking at your page, I thought that you've been doing that like for years and years and years, because it looks. Yes. My God, that's amazing.
It's really just been a little over a year. I didn't know I could draw, so I can. So I used oil pastels. So I started with pencils, and then went to colored pencils, and then I tried the dry pastels, you know, the like chalk. And then I discovered I got oil pastels, and I like them a lot better. So and they come in all different kinds of formats, you know, from big to small, right? But and when I first tried them, it's kind of like, you know, kind of glorified crayons, you know, like Crayola brand, you know. So, but this is more wax, and the better stuff it's got a lot more oils in it. Wow. So it transfers really beautifully, and
oh, that's amazing, right? Kevin. Oh wow.
Yeah, so you can do some really beautiful things. So if you saw some of my stuff, yeah, most of my stuff's been sold, but there's stuff on the wall here that's commission work that I'm working on right now that needs finished. And I've met some other artists on Facebook, and so we're doing stuff together. So, and that you probably enjoy meeting them as well. But I can give you links to their stuff. But good guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'd like to do the interview with them as well if they're up for it, so they can expose their job as well. That would be amazing. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm working on a piece with a young man by the name of Drew, and he sent me his stuff. So I'm working on Little Mermaid right now with him. So I'll be posting that soon. He'll post at the same time, and then we're just gonna try to sell it and see if we can. Yeah. Amazing. So it should be fun.
Okay, Kevin, so for the interview, I'm going to ask a little bit more questions that I'm curious about your art as well, how things kind of, you know what I mean, in the past you had some kind of, let's say, a gift of doing that, and how did it happen, okay? But are you ready now to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I think it's really fun. It's a great idea. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing, amazing. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. Lovely box full of random questions. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to play a song just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
All right.
Ready?
Yeah. Not much of a dancer.
You've been ready for the last few weeks, I can see. Let's do it. Right, Kevin, ready for the first question?
Yep.
Let's do it. If there is a question you don't have an answer for, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? I can pick another one. It's all very friendly, okay?
All right.
Let's do it. Oh, this question is going to be very easy for you. What are you most passionate about?
Oh, I'm most passionate about family and friends and my faith. So kind of like 3 F's, I guess, suppose there, right? So I'm a person of faith, and so most passionate about those. How it directs me, right? And it's most important things in my life is my family and the friendships and relationships over stuff, right? So most passionate about people and relationships way over gaining notoriety or money, right? Or things. So
amazing. Yeah. And your family, all of your part of your family, they live as well in Florence, or you live some other parts in Arizona?
Well, it's really kind of cool. I have 3 boys, and so we lived in Hawaii, and we moved back here, and so we moved back to Florence. And Florence, they have both sets of their grandparents live here, and their godparents live here, and they have a great uncle and auntie and cousins and everything. So it's a very unusual thing. It's a very small town we live in, and so everybody lives here. So that right across the street here, my parents live there, right across the street. So my boys can see their grandparents every day.
How old are
Yeah.
your boys?
13, 16, and 19.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
3 teenagers.
Let's go
Yeah.
for the second question. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Kevin. Right, before the next question, tell me a little bit about your tattoos. How?
It's a story.
Tell me.
It's well planned. I helped design it. My artist, my tattoo artist is Shane Harvey from Kailua, Oahu, and he's pretty much native to the island. Grew up there. He's a really good and excellent artist, and so he helped me finish this. So it's not quite all done. Actually, there'll be stuff on the back, but my tattoos are the story of Elijah from the Bible, from the Old Testament. So the prophet Elijah. So I don't need to take my shirt off, suppose, but they're all different kind of elements of the story of Elijah's life, because I feel like I kind of relate to Elijah in some ways, right? Elijah was brave and strong and a person of faith and pursued those things, right? But he was also, there were times that Elijah was an abject failure as well, right? And he ran away and he was scared when he probably shouldn't have been, didn't need to be scared. So I kind of relate to that, right? I'm passionate about things, but there are sometimes that, you know, we're all failures. So anyway, so that's all the different parts of it. There's the bull of the sacrifice, and then a lion that ate the Jezebel, and then the ravens that fed him when he was hiding from Jezebel, and then there are vines and all kinds of stuff. So that's, yep. And Elijah, if you know the story, Elijah doesn't die, which I like that. Elijah is taken up into heaven in a firing a chariot with horses, a fiery chariot, right? And so that if I can afford it or have the inclination, right? But I want Shane to do it, and he's in Oahu and I'm here now. But in any case, I have a design for the back with horses with fire and a chariot with Elijah flexing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. I like that. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. Next question for you is, what's your all-time favorite band and why you consider that?
Golly. Well, I was in college. I was, for a short while, I was a music major, and I was for vocal performance. So I'd sing, and it was just enough money to pay for my meal ticket. So I used to say that I sing for my supper, right? So I have tons of different bands and all kinds of different stuff that I love. But I'm an '80s kid, and so I grew up in the 1980s. And so I would have to say my very favorite band back then was Chicago. So lots of brass, lots of music, lots of parts, some great singers there. You know, Peter Cetera came out of there, and so some beautiful voices, and you know, kind of shaped a lot of that stuff. Them, and then Journey, right?
Wow.
Chicago, Journey, and then maybe Def Leppard. See, I'm sound like an old man.
I grew up in the 80s as well. I know what you mean, for sure.
Yep.
Next question, Kevin. Let's do it. Right, Kevin from Arizona. Next question for you is, I love this question. What does love mean to you?
I was just talking about this weekend. I think love is a choice. I choose to love someone, right? As in, I don't think it's more of it's action. It's less of a feeling, because I think there's a lot of, like, love is kind of can be fleeting if we just think about how we feel, but I think love is a choice. And so, and being a person of faith, I like the definition of love that comes out of the New Testament of the Bible. There in Corinthians, where it speaks about, you know, you hear it most every wedding, right? It seems like any Christian wedding, but it's like you always have to have that entire chapter, you know. Love is patient. Love is you know, is kind. You know, it doesn't have a puffed up head. It puts other people's needs in front of others, right? So yeah, I think love is a choice, and a kind of is a lifetime commitment of love to others. So.
And do you believe that there are different kinds of love?
Well, I mean, I think for English speakers, when we say we love pizza and we love people, right? So yeah, I think there are different ways of, I think different of for love, certainly. Yeah. I do love pizza, but I also love people, and I love my family, right? But there's also love that we expressed for like friendship or brotherly love. I think there's love that speaks to us about sexual type of love, passion, that kind of eros love, right?
Absolutely.
So definitely, those type of things. Right? The love of something, a love of a band, or a love of your the person that you love forever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of them come from a very good place, you know what I mean? From a very special place, the different kinds of love. That's what I believe as well, for sure. Next question, Kevin. Let's do it. Right, next question for you is, where do you want to be in 10 years' time from now?
Yeah, it's funny. My plan was to be in Oahu, on the island, but things change so quickly, right? So it's just funny. This has been such a crazy couple years, right? So dreams you had before is like they're kind of stomped on a bit, right? So honestly, I hope that in 10 years that I have some new vision and some really major goals that I can pursue. Right now, I just want to be kind of secure and bring in a paycheck and caring for my family. And so in 10 years, I hope to be healthy and strong, and maybe in 10 years, I'll be a grandpa, right? So I think that's like, 10 years, my boys are 13 and 16 and 19. So, maybe I'll be a grandfather by then. So
are you hoping to?
I'm kind of excited about 10 years from now, but I'm also kind of like, oh my goodness. So yeah. 10 years, I'll be old enough to retire. How about that? 10 years, I hope to retire. There we go.
Yes, I think as you said, it changed a lot. You know what I mean? Our plans goes different directions. You're not expecting, surprise comes along, and yes, I understand your point for sure.
Yeah.
Next one, let's do it. Before the next question, would you like to tell me what's the best part of your job and what's the most challenging part, in your opinion?
Well, I feel like that kind of I care about people. I'm kind of a compassionate person, right? And so the toughest part is with these people who have committed crime, or they've done something really stupid. Some of them are just kind of rotten people, but there are other people, it's just like, out of desperation, they committed a crime and they're being deported. It's that hardest part is like removing them from the plane. It's, seeing people in handcuffs and shackles. It's such a very different, it's a very micro portion of kind of the world, so it's a kind of a dark type of work. My work is taking people where in a lot of cases they don't want to be,
Yeah.
So that portion of it is and that's the hardest thing, right? The best thing about it is I get to travel. I get to see places that I love. I love Mexico. I love Costa Rica. I haven't been to Ecuador yet. I'm looking forward to Brazil. I love Kenya. I haven't been to Germany yet, but I've been to France. I like those places. I love Europe. I love England, right? Love London and Scotland, right? So I have lots of Scot-Irish blood in me. So
interesting.
Yeah. So hopefully we get to do some travel on. But and you're part of the team, and so that's cool. There are a lot of retired officers that I work with, so they're kind of older men and everything. So lots of story, right? So that's the best part. Those really great stories.
absolutely, for sure. Next question for you is, what season you feel more connected with and why?
Well, living in Hawaii, aren't seasons. It's the temperature. What's the temperature today? Well, the low will be about 72 and the high will be about 79. Will it rain? Yes, it'll rain for about 10 minutes, right? And then we'll get to go play, right? In Arizona, it's very similar to that. So, but I prefer the fall. I love autumn. I love the holidays. I love spending time with family, and and being from the United States. I love Thanksgiving. So, and that happens to land right where my birthday is there as well. So, I like being with family. So, I like the fall the best, I guess, because you get to see friends and family you don't usually get to, and get to spend time with them and kind of slow down, and you get to eat a lot of great food.
It's interesting saying that, because the fall is my favorite season of the year as well. And someone told me once that the time when you were born is the season when you feel more connected with. And for me, works well as well.
Really?
And I was checking your profile, and your birthday is 23rd of November. Is and my birthday is 17th of November. So.
How is it?
Yeah, 17th. And your birthday is birthday of one of very good friend of mine as well from Brazil. And it's for you works well as well, because the fall is your favorite, and I love the fall as well. We in London now. London, the fall just hit now, and actually this morning I was going to work this morning, and I was looking at the trees. Oh my God, they're so beautiful with those leaves. You know what I mean? Colorful leaves, and it's just so beautiful. I just love it. The fall for me as well is the most beautiful season of the year for sure.
Now you're from you're in London, right?
Yeah, I'm in London.
Right?
Yeah.
You're London. So when I've been to London, the first time I was in London was in November, near my birthday, near the end of the month. And so I remember I was staying there, and I got off the plane, and we stayed near Buckingham Palace in Green Park, at the Green Park. It was a really beautiful hotel. And we get there in the morning, but we're exhausted, right? And we hadn't slept, so we get there and it's like, well, your room's not ready, but we do have one room, but it's a dark room. I'm like, what do you mean dark room? I didn't know what he meant by a dark room. I was like, I don't care. I'll just, it's a dark room. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but we'll take it, right? And so we were so tired. We go to the room, and I hear this knock on the door, and I look at the clock, and it says 12:20. And it's pitch black, and I'm like, what is somebody knocking at the door at midnight? My head's all mixed up from it's like 12:20 in the morning. What are you doing? It's like, and there's like housekeeping. I'm like, what are you at my door at 12:20? And it's like, sir, it's just afternoon. and it was like one of these inner rooms, and there was a window, but there was no light coming through. It was so crazy. It's like I thought that in London, winter there, it's like the daytime's like 10 minutes long, and then or an hour, and night is 23 hours. It's like, and I had always lived in the southwest of the United States, so we have long days and long night, and there just wasn't, it was the first time I had ever left the country, so I thought that was pretty wild. But I loved it.
Yeah, this time of the year in London, it's very, the day is very short, you know what I mean? The day is very short right now. It's you finish work around 5 o'clock, it's already dark, very dark. And sometimes we start to work very early as well. Sometimes we used to leave home like around 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's kind of dark as well, so you don't see the daylight sometimes, depending the time you're working. So yeah, it can be very dark for sure.
Yeah, the next time I visited, I was in Scotland, and it was like in the summer, like in June or something.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So, and it was like, is this day gonna ever end then, right?
Yeah.
It's just so long, right? It's like, yeah.
Fine. Next question, Kevin. Right, next question for you is, good one. Describe yourself in 3 words.
All right, let's see. Well, I think the first word that comes to mind is kind. Actually, Kevin means kind, so it was well named. Adventurous. I love new things. And I'll say artistic, because I love art and music and all the forms of that. Yeah.
If I would ask you to define yourself in a negative one, what that would be?
Impatient.
Welcome to the club. Okay, welcome to the club.
Sometimes intolerant. I don't know. Maybe I should be more so, right? And forgetful. How's that?
Okay, good fun. I'll take that. I'll take that.
That was a little hard. That was way too easy.
Next one. Right, before the next one, I would like to tell me something. As you mentioned about have 3 boys, what's the most memorable lesson you learned from them so far?
For me, I believe is that to slow down, enjoy the moment, and not wish it away, right? Not wishing for some other time. To be right, like wishing when they were little, when they were babies and they couldn't move, not wishing they could walk, and then or wishing they could talk, or or wishing that they'd grow up and leave the house, type of thing. I've learned that I want to embrace just to really enjoy every moment with them that's special about their age. All the different grades and life experience, and seeing them learn, and listening to them, and laughing with them. And discovering what they're good at, and pursuing that, helping them pursue it. Yeah.
Very good. Right, next question for you is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
I think when planned out entire weekend or entire days, or vacations, just planning of just like every moment is completely planned out, of just doing things that building memories, right? So romance again to me is just lots of time and slowing down and enjoying being together, and more so than receiving some jewelry or some flowers or that kind of stuff, but just experiencing life together. And having those things planned, just like not being distracted with work or anything else, and just have no responsibilities and just be in the moment.
Do you consider yourself a romantic person?
I think so. I mean, yeah, sometimes I'm a bit more clinical, I suppose, about life, I'm more of a fixer of the things. I want to fix things, and I want to fight for righteous things, and fight for things that are good, and for my family, and for the community, and for my world. It's like, so I think I'm more passionate about those type of things than I am with romance. I think, though I do enjoy it.
Very good.
I just have to really think. I have to really, really think and plan to be romantic. And being catty.
I believe being romantic sometimes is about simplicity as well. Sometimes, when you do something very simple, in touching, I think for me, the most romantic thing is when someone does something like very, very simple and unexpected. Something nowadays, I think the world is so fast nowadays. It's all about perfection. It's all about status. And then sometimes when someone does something very like a little kindness, for me it just breaks my heart. When someone comes with a simple gesture, or sometimes even simple words, sometimes that just melt my heart, and I go like, oh. For sure, that's for me, a simplicity for me, it's what makes things romantic, for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Next question, Kevin, let's do it. For the next question, tell me what's the inspirations for your art, your piece of art? What's the biggest inspiration that you find?
I do a lot of fan art. So there are different characters or personalities that I really enjoy, so I enjoy doing those. A lot of my stuff's commissioned. It's those people saw their ideas of what they would like to see. So I love when someone writes to me and says, I had this dream or I had this idea, you'll make it happen for me, right? Because they're not artists and they can't do it. It's like, this is what I have in mind. can you create that? So I did one piece. It's not here, of course. I did a piece. A guy wrote me, and he said he had this dream of him. He was coming out of a really dark place in his life, and so he had this dream of just very hopeful dream of him, kind of like a golem, or kind of of like being resurrected, coming out of the ground, and with strength, when he had a tree was coming out of his back in his dream. Wow. And it was blooming, and it was full of butterflies who had just been basically reborn, right? So I did these things, and so that was my most favorite thing. The inspiration is when they describe it to me, and I spend time sketching it, and then I create it, and then I present it. And this young man, when I send it to him, I send a picture, and on Facebook you can see if somebody sees what you message, you can see they saw it, And so I send it to him, and he sees it, and it's just, he doesn't say a word, right? Nothing. And then an hour passes, and I write him again. I said, "Is it okay?" Because worried, as the artist, you're worried.
Of course.
An hour go by, just zero communication. But suddenly it's like he says, I was getting my composure. He said, "I am literally crying. I love it so much." And I couldn't even write. So that was like one of the most special things, is when he just full on loved what I had created. So the inspiration is in kind of more hopeful than inspired to do it. So it's other people's ideas and dreams, and me kind of interpreting that and then presenting it to them. That's amazing. I did a character from C.S. Lewis, from a book called Till We Have Faces, and how I saw this character, and I did her, and she literally has like gold tears, this woman, this beautiful woman, and it's just part of her face. It's there. She's got this hair and everything, and my sister saw it, and she said, she wrote me, she's like, "I'm crying. I love it so much. I need to have this." So and so I've actually done 3 versions of that same thing. So when my inspiration is more hopeful than inspired to do it, right? And it's other people's ideas, and it's like, "Well, I'd like to see this." So like this is somebody's idea here, but that is a Disney princess with who's like, it's near Halloween, right? So I'm working on a set of 6, but she's kind of a zombie on one side. They say she's a skeleton and just her hand and stuff. So I'm working with my buddy Brooke, who's actually he's a caricature artist for Disney, and so we're working on a set of 6 where he's helping me design them, and I'm painting them as well. So we're doing all these Disney princesses as zombies, which I had somebody write me and said, it's like, if Walt Disney saw what you were doing, he'd be turning over in his grave. But it's like, but so people have different ideas of what they'd like to do, right? So I've got some stuff that's coming up that's gonna be really fun. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Right, next question for you is, tell us about your first kiss and your first love.
My first kiss was terrible.
Of course.
It was a girl in high school, and I wasn't brave enough as a kid. I'm not a tall kid at all, so the girls didn't pay much attention to me. I think even when I was a sophomore in high school, my first kiss, and I think I might have been like 5 feet tall at the time, and I had a crush on this girl. Her name was Cheryl, and I got her alone, and I asked her if she would let me kiss her with passing her a note. And I hand her the note, and we're just sitting across from each other. This is how, and I take the note and I hand it to her, and it says, it was either "Will you kiss me?" or "Can I kiss you?" I can't remember what it was. It was a very, very, very long time ago, and she didn't know how to kiss, and I didn't know how to kiss, and so she kisses me, and I remember she kisses me, and this is awful. She drools on me. She kisses me. And I remember kissing her, like, you feel like it, I felt like it was my drool, right? But she drooled on me. I suck it up into my mouth.
God, what
I
experience!
can't believe you're asking me this question. But it's like, I was like, first kiss was the worst kiss ever.
Wow. And she was your first love as well?
My first love. No, I didn't fall in love until I was, I had lots of crushes, but truly love wasn't until I was late into my 20s. So, yeah. Yeah.
Good.
First love and forever love. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Let's do it, Kevin. Right. Next question for you is, what is the funniest gift have you ever received?
Well, the one I can think of was a fox. I was given a fox.
A real one?
And I wanted a real fox. I was trying to figure out I wanted a fox. I wanted a domesticated fox. I didn't want a cat. I didn't want a dog. And that's all I talked about for just months and months and months. And so this was about 5 years ago. I was turning 50, and I was like at 50 years old. It's like, okay, I want a fox.
Wow.
And so, I have a fox, but it's not here, right? I was given that year for my birthday. I was given a bunch of like little stuffed animals and ornaments and a bunch of these foxes, which I have no interest in, but they're fun. So I have a fox that goes on my Christmas tree, and I have a little fox that sits out. But I got a certificate. I actually have a fox in Europe someplace that was adopted. So it's in my name. I got to name the fox, and I can't remember what I named it, but I haven't kept track of it, right? It's not like I'm doing a sponsor child with Compassion International or something. So it's just this fox. But so I have a fox. It's just not mine. It's some zoo in Europe.
Wow, very interesting.
This fox was sponsored by and paid for as a gift for Kevin. So.
Very good, very good, very good. Next question for you, Kevin. Let's do it. I think you can dance very well.
Move a little bit.
You just be modest, I think.
There you go.
Right, good question. Tell me something that not many people know about you.
Let's see. Few people know. I once, in college age, I was arrested in Mexico, and went to and spent a few hours in a Mexican jail. How's that?
Oh wow!
It's funny. I got pulled over and arrested because I wouldn't pay a ticket, but I didn't have any money anyway. So I didn't have any money, so I had to go to the jail. And so I spent some time in a little Mexican jail down in Baja, Mexico, because I couldn't pay the fine for a traffic fine. Yeah.
Wow, very good one. Very good. I love that. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. I'm gonna follow your moves. Yeah, I'm gonna follow your moves.
Really bad ones.
Right, before the next question, now tell me what's the, of course, I'm sure one of the best parts of living Hawaii, of course, the weather, the nature, yeah? But what was the most challenging part you found living there?
Getting a flight. Because we left during the pandemic and the closure, right? So we had reservations multiple times with Hawaiian Airlines, and they kept canceling the flights, cancel it. And then the other one is to get your vehicles back across is pretty tough, and it's expensive. So and then anything that you want to bring with you, right? And the containers are very expensive. So the most difficult was just paying for it. It was crazy expensive. Get everybody back over here, get the cars back over, and then some of the belongings, right? But we sold most everything we owned before we left. It's like, it's stuff, right? But pictures, we kept those, and keepsake and stuff that was very Hawaiian that we didn't want to give up to take with us, right? So we got a little container, and it was full of Not much.
Very good, very good. Next question for you is, if you could have dinner with someone, living or not, who that would be and why?
Well, if we go for dinner. Well, if they're not living, then I can go. One of my favorite authors is C.S. Lewis. So I'd love to meet C.S. Lewis, the creator of Narnia. I don't know if you know that. But
Yeah.
He's from Oxford. He's from England. And he wrote a lot during World War II and after, right? So, in reference to those things. So I'd like to meet him and kind of pick his brain, and that'd be great fun. C.S. Lewis, the creator of Narnia, right?
Amazing, amazing. Well, very good, very good. Right, I have 3 questions left for you, okay? Let's do it.
All right.
Let's see the moves again. Let's do it. Very good mover, very good dancer for sure.
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good.
Next question for you is, who would you swap lives with for a day if you could?
I guess my follow-up question with that would though for you is, do I have this same intellect and gifts and talents as the person that I'm replacing for the day? Right? Because it's like it's in the day, it's like you're supposed to be doing this or that, right? Like, because I think of like I'd like to be a singer, performer who could sing and dance, right? I love the crowds. I love singing. I can't dance, but I'd like to be somebody who is performing live on a big stage and singing and be able to dance. So I'd have to be able to have their skills for the day at least, but I would do that. So I don't know who that would be, but I'd like to just be like, I don't know. I don't want to drop some crazy name. Somebody who's got a great following that sings and right.
No, I would like to tell me a name. No, I'm very curious. Tell someone what's come to your mind. For the first come to your mind. You don't need to be embarrassed or be scared or something. Just but the first person.
Well, then I would think of an actor. There's an actress. What's her? Who I actually want to meet. I'd like to meet her. She's from England. She's a comedian. Oh my goodness, she had her own TV show. She was on the BBC. She had a short-lived TV series, comedy. She owned a joke shop. Her mother was always trying to get her married off. She's tall and lots of physical comedy. She was in the TV shows, Call the Midwife, all BBC stuff, British stuff. Miranda. I don't know her last name. Miranda. I'd trade places with Miranda. I have to be a really tall British woman for a day, but I'll be Miranda. There you go.
Good, very good, very good. 2 questions left.
I think it's brilliant.
Let's do it. And you say you cannot dance, yeah?
I didn't move my arms. I can box.
Right. Next question for you is, what 3 things are you most grateful for?
Oh, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for good health, and I'm grateful for a bright future.
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful, yeah. Beautiful. Kevin, ready for the last one?
Yep.
Let's do it. Last question. Before the last question, last year the world went upside down with the COVID situation, COVID crisis, yeah? What's the most positive thing you took out of this challenge journey?
Just slow down and focus on my family. Has it been important? And just the discovery that I can paint. Had it not happened, I wouldn't have discovered this whole area of life and friends and circles of peoples I would have probably never met. And I've made some good friends who are artists, and I've made a lot of people happy. So I think that being able to express myself with my art has been like one of the most positive things. Yeah.
And when you were like younger, like as a child or a teenager, did you ever thought about like, okay, I've got the gift of being a painter, or did you do some work at the time, or literally just discovered that right now, like a year ago?
I didn't do anything like that. No, it's completely different kind of stuff. Yeah. So I did when I was younger in high school. I studied landscape architecture, and in the college, and horticulture. So there's some artistic in that of designing landscapes, you know, parks and people's homes and their yards and that kind of stuff. So there was a bit of drawing with that I got to enjoy, but I didn't know that I was capable of doing what I've created until really being stuck in my house, not allowed to go to the beach, not allowed to go to the trails, and bored out of my skull. I needed some kind of something that was therapeutic. So the art has been really very therapeutic for me, is just to focus on something, create something, and have it in my hand. Right? Wow. When the whole world's like such a mess, and you don't have control over that, it's like, well, I can do this. You know, it's something simple, but it's something, and people have really enjoyed my work. So that makes me really happy.
That's beautiful, Kevin. That's beautiful. Sometimes, you know, beautiful things come out of dark place. You know what I mean? When you are, as you said, the world was in a very challenged place, but a lot of people, they found a way to survive. They found a way of their creativity that was hidden somewhere, and found some creativity that they thought they never had. You know what I mean? So I think the human being, we are so fascinating. That's, you know what I mean? They are so much. Sometimes you need to go through darker places to find beautiful things out there, for sure. I believe that as well.
I get to be expressive, so.
Yes, absolutely. Last question for you is, tell me 3 fun facts about yourself.
I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world, so I love travel. Love traveling, meeting people. I once was in an opera, and I played the lead.
Wow.
Let's see. I've been published. So.
Very good.
So my writing's been published. So there you go. Just some fun facts.
Very good. Very good. Kevin, not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association games. Okay, so I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Ready?
All right.
Let's start with religion.
Elijah.
Politics.
Joe.
Love.
Forever.
Money.
A tool.
Family.
Love.
Sex.
Yeah.
How about life?
Fleeting.
Fear.
Waste.
Friendship.
Gift.
Desire.
Passion.
Regrets.
Irreversible.
Success.
Relationships.
Wish.
Fantasy.
Happiness.
Fleeting.
One word for Arizona.
Unexpected.
Okay. How about USA? One word.
Broken.
One word for art.
Fun.
And the last one now, painting and drawing. One word.
Therapeutic.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, What is the most beautiful thing about Kevin, and what's something that he still needs to improve on? What do you think your best friend will tell me?
I think that they would say that I am kind. The good things. I'm kind. That I need to work on. And I actually was told this recently, on a couple times actually, that I need to work on, because I have some good mentors and love in my life. Told me that I need to get past being angry and returning to being who I truly am.
If I would ask the same question to your kids, they would, I mean, to your boys, they would say the same as well, the same answer?
I think so. I think they would say the same thing, the other guys, because really part of that came from the boys. So
Okay. There we go. Maybe is the answer.
Yeah.
Maybe very is the answer.
yeah.
Right, Kevin. Let's play now, Kevin and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But
All
before
right.
that, let's play the music one more time, and I'd like to see your moves again. Let's do it. Hey, I got you dancing in. Very good, very good.
So bad.
Right, you can ask me a question now.
Oh, what brought you to London?
Good question. Good question. I do have another 3 hours to go through with me.
Sure.
No, it's very easy answer. The main reason of me living in the UK, as a child, I had the opportunity to study English, to start studying English when I was 12 years old. 11, 12 years old. My mom, she was working as a housekeeper in a lady's house where she owned a private English school. And I was very fascinated about it. And one day I said to my mom, I would like to learn English. Because in Brazil, when you start learning English, and I think for public schools, not private, but public schools, like when you are 11 or 12, I think. So it's quite late for you to learn like a foreign language, in a very basic way, like very, very basic, yeah? And I don't know, I always had this passion about the language, the English language. And one day I said to my mom, I said, look, is that okay if you can talk to her to see if she can give me a scholarship for me to study there? And she gave me the scholarship for me to study English when I was 12 years old. And I just was still very passionate about the language, always being very passionate about English language. And I always wanted to live in a country where the mother language was English. Brazilian people, back in Brazil, we tend to go to America, to USA, the American dream, you know what I mean? When you think about living abroad or in another country, always America comes to your you know what I mean, to your plans. But of course, my parents, they couldn't afford for me to study or to live in USA because of visas, this and that. So long story short, when I was 19 years old, I had the opportunity to go to Portugal, to live in Portugal for 5 years. And but I always want to live in a country where I could speak English every day. And so yeah, the main reason is I live in London is because of the language. But it's so fascinating how life takes in a direction that you're not expecting. For example, Portugal wasn't my plans. When I was 19 years old, I moved to Portugal on my own. And I didn't have, I never thought one day I would be, you know what I mean, live in Portugal. It wasn't my plans because I was so focused in USA. And London wasn't my plans either. So I'm so grateful that Portugal came along and London as well. I feel like I've been in London for the last 16 years and London is home for me now. I just love being in London. I think I'm meant to be here. And I just, so the main reason that I'm here in London, the main thing was the language. And of course, to get a better life, to help my family. And I always had this dream of, you know what I mean, being just, you know what I mean, get a better life that I could afford to help my family back in Brazil and also to speak English as well and to get opportunities in life. So that's the reason why I'm here. But the main reason back as a teenager, like a very young teenager, as a child, was I wanted to always live in a country where I could speak English every single day. And here I am.
That's amazing. That's great.
Kevin, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
It's great fun. It's great fun. Thanks, bro.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thanks for being kind. Thanks for being understanding. Thanks for being yourself. Thanks for being so open. And thanks for being so genuine and to accept my invitation to be part of the show as well. I think it meant to be today. I think we tried 3 times on my mistake that I couldn't do it. And I'm glad that we did now. And I believe that everything happened in the right time. And I'm so glad that we connected to talk today, because I could get to see more about you, about your passion as well, about your joys in life, about your memories in life, about the stories in life. And I think that's what counts. I think the show is about get to know people, communicate with people, and connect with people as well. And I'm so grateful that you accept my invitation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for you taking the time.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Good to meet you.
Before we go, I would like to share a positive message, a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
Well, as I mentioned, that I'm a person of faith, so I think of scripture, right? So I would say this, like, I like the scripture that talks about is that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. So I'd say my faith gives me strength when, especially, during something like in the world where this pandemic type of stuff is, that we can it helps not just survive but to thrive. So my goal would be that, and for all of us, I think, would be that I'd rather see us not just be survivors, but that we be thriving. How's that?
Very good. Very good. Thanks for the message. And okay, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much. All the regards for your family, for your boys, and you keep in touch, okay? And good luck with your arts, okay? All the best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye, Kevin. Take care.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.